Hey guys, this is Jim Fix, aka Fillmore. For those of you who love QF, a podcast about Howard Stern, and would like to donate some money, there's two ways now you can do it. You can join our Patreon page, which is listed in the graphic you're seeing now. But also, if you'd rather not do a subscription-based thing, even if it's $1 a month or what have you, you can use our PayPal account, which would be jimfix76@gmail.com. And you can donate whatever you like, however you like, one of those two ways, and we'd more than appreciate it if you'd like to do so. Thank you very much.
Hey, why don't you rub your cock up against the phone? Let me see what kind of noise it makes.
I'm not going to do that.
Just do it. It's a big deal.
Are you gay?
Which Howard are you talking to?
The one who asked that question.
Oh, no. I'm just trying to be entertaining, that's all. I'm not gay. Am I gay? Of course not. I have a wife.
A lot of gay men have wives.
Yeah, but come on. You know me. You know I'm not gay. I'm just asking the guy how big his cock is.
Well, you're asking him to rub it up against the phone.
And all you do is mooch over people. You do nothing. You're a big homo.
That's not entirely true.
What do you do, really?
I'm bisexual and I don't mooch off everybody.
People are going to be shocked that you put out an exercise and diet book because they don't think of you that way, right? They think about you. But here you are today with is the book out now?
Yep, Formula 50.
Is there a bunch of pictures of you with your shirt off so we can see your muscularity?
Well,
No, I didn't take my shirt off.
Musculature?
We got to have an example.
I want to see your musculature.
This is not about... this is not the Chippendale show, Robin.
Are you very ripped? If you took off your clothes now, you were totally nude. Would I see a man who is in the prime condition?
You have to have him totally nude?
Yeah.
But look,
Would you mind being totally nude right now?
Yeah, I'm not taking my clothes off.
Please.
I was trying to give me a strip in here.
Please, if you don't
One of
mind.
them girls you bring up here.
Take off your clothes. Take off your shirt. Let me see
I'm
what's
not taking
doing.
my shirt off.
I want to see if you got titties on it.
Last time I watched the show, I see you had the porn stars up there.
Yeah.
And y'all had the girls in here stripping and stuff like that. I'm like, me? You want to bring me here? Me
I want you nude right now.
You got to be kidding me, man.
Come on, man.
I'm doing way too good for this kind of shit, Howard.
Look at your ass. You're so muscular.
Do you have muscles in your ass that you'd like to show?
I'm not doing this in a gay way. I just want to, see if you're fat or not. I just want to see. It's not gay.
No,
man. Tip of your balls to the tip of your penis was over 9 inches.
No, right at the
9 inches.
Yeah. You making me feel good, man. Because when you watch porno, those dudes is like a foot.
9 is perfect.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe that's that's the secret.
Perfect.
Oh, that's it. Wait, hold on, Robin. Is 9 perfect, Robin?
Perfect.
What does Howard mean by that?
You know exactly what I mean. My daughter's 15. All her friends are like consumed with who's gay and who isn't. Yeah, that's like a big thing.
That's the new thing.
Yeah, right. They think I'm gay. Yeah. Everyone's gay.
Welcome, everybody, to QF, a podcast about Howard Stern. I'm your host, Fillmore, a.k.a. Jim Fix. And with me, believe it or not, is Raven and Sam. So welcome, girls.
Hi. Hey.
We had to... I manipulated the episode so that 78 was fine because that's going to be out this weekend. Goober, with a great Photoshop by Matthew Schultz. And the Billy West finale was 2 parts. It was really 1, but I made it so that it was 77A and 77B because I wanted 79, this episode, to be called 79. And I thought, we talk about it so much, why not have an episode where we just play his just retardation completely, and all little bits where he sounds like a 79, and then just fucking laugh. So we hope you guys enjoy this one. We're going to start with a lot of the clips that Raven has clipped already, and even if it's traveling over old ground, guys, forgive us, we couldn't resist. So the first one is called Grammar Police.
So that was pretty cool. Like, I've seen some weird celebrity stuff, but the idea of somebody carrying me around in their arms like I'm a baby, even I, who has tremendous hunger for love and attention, I draw the line at that. I think that's dumb. She's like over the top. Like, asking someone to carry you like a baby in their arms that's too much. That's it. That's
I love the fact that he goes, yeah, that sounds dumb.
It's too much. What do you mean? You're like 7 feet tall. Who's cradling your fucking gigantic, massively ugly frame?
I think that Robin corrects him real quick.
Even
I mean,
I who have not.
Yes.
I who has.
No.
But
So this next one, I love. Should I even announce them, or just I'll let people hear them?
Yeah,
At this point, just go for it.
Yeah. Okay.
So the diner that you own. In other words, the question I have is, how can you have a menu with like pork chops and fettuccine Alfredo? Because okay, I get the fettuccine or noodles.
Oh my God. I'm wearing a shirt right now that says Italians do it better. Apparently,
Do you guys know you're missing a vowel, Raven?
Yeah, I can just imagine being out to dinner with him and him ordering a plate of chicken parmigiano with spaghetti and sauce on the side, of course. Half in the trash.
Yeah. It's like calzone. I mean, he really is like a fucking Les Nessman saying "Chai Chai Rodriguez" when he does when he says anything.
holy shit.
More recently, I love this one.
I have no problem with him.
All right, well, that's fascinating. Richard
He
living
doesn't
somewhere.
feed rabid right now, but he could wander off and get around the wrong raccoon.
Well, if he
by
starts
the way,
slobbering, I'm not feeding him anymore.
I'm glad you said rabbits, because one of the things my wife was teaching me over East.
What?
he mentioned that you're talking about rabbit. Robin just brought up like good thing that
I know, rabid.
Yeah, so he starts talking about rabbits,
Which has nothing to do with rabid.
No.
Rabid is an adjective, right? Like
They were
rabid
They were
fan.
talking about fucking raccoons,
Mhm.
and he
Oh,
jumps
raccoons,
to
that's it.
rabbits because it was rabid raccoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we didn't call it 79 for nothing, guys.
Thought you listen to this. I'll give you some facts about John's gambling.
All right.
John was once. This is amazing. This is more shocking than the fact that you got all those blowjobs in college. John was once kicked out of the Tropicana in Vegas after being a.
Why does he have to fuck with this? When have you ever heard someone say Tropicana? Even like if it was orange juice.
I don't
Fucking
know.
Okay, tomato,
Was it made by Genghis Khan?
tomato. Okay, yeah.
He's so out of touch. He can't even get simple things right. I mean, we've heard Venmo as Venmo. He doesn't know anything about real life. The guy is he's in a cocoon in these mansions. I swear to fucking God.
Okay, well, what about like Chef Boyardee? The way he pronounces it.
Oh, well, then there's the accented syllables. Let's not go there with Abelo, Zeppelin.
Okay, let's keep going.
It seems to me, and I think this is because of your intellect. Obviously, if you went to Harvard, you must have been an incredible student. You don't get in. I mean, 6% of the country gets into Harvard. You must
6% of the country. What? Has he ever taken a statistics class? Does he know how to do percentages?
No, come on, Sam.
When Raven clipped that, I fucking hurt my stomach laughing for 5 minutes.
I still remember.
You know, they'd have students pouring out of the dorm windows. It'd be like shoveling them out of there. They'd be sleeping under the fucking beds. They'd be piled in the fucking drawers.
6% is 19 million students, by the way.
I think I said you'd even campus the size of the Grand Canyon.
You know the episode of Seinfeld when Kramer has people staying at his apartment and he's got people and he tucks them in at night and they're in the drawers.
Yeah. So This one,
that would be the Harvard welcome day.
I just want to do the most recent ones because there's not like I've got tons more in the archives, but I just didn't have time to dig them all out. Although I did get some of them, the ones that stuck out especially.
In the art, consider Eskimo derogatory because it was used by racist non-native colonizers. Most people in Canada and Greenland prefer terms like Intuit. I mean,
Inuit?
Intuit.
What?
Right? Which means people. Intuit means the singular is Inuk, which means person. So Inuk or Intuit.
Intuit.
Yeah.
That was not a joke. She corrected him, and then he just barreled forward. He said, "It's Intuit."
Oh my God!
On top of that, it's the topic of racism. And he has no fucking clue, as always.
Yeah.
He just, oh my God, he just plows right through no matter what.
And this isn't one of those things where it's like Latin X, where people who are Latina are like, I don't even know what the hell Latin X is.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, they don't really want to refer to themselves as Latin X.
I got you.
Truthfully, it's not like that. This is a word that's been around forever of how to refer to somebody. So why is he pronouncing as Intuit? Intuit is into it. That's a different word. And it's not, it has nothing to do with that.
Right.
That's because Grandpa 79's cataracts are kicking in and he can't see properly. He keeps everything so fucking dark and his eyes are going. So Inuit looks like Intuit, intuition, all these things that like he's just reading a script. He doesn't know this stuff off the top of his head. It's so obvious. He's reading and he's reading it wrong because his eyes are fucking shit now, along with his voice and his throat.
Oh, yeah, but okay, I'm looking at it right now. I spelled it just to see if I would make that same mistake. And I still I'm not inserting a T where there isn't one. I'm not. I have to add. You don't have to change Inuit so much that it doesn't look like it anymore. So it's either he's just retarded. It could be eyesight. His eyesight definitely is going. He's got those those goddamn Onassis glasses on. But he how much of it is he just a dumb fuck?
Okay, that's the other 50%. If it's not his eyes going bad, it's he's a dumb fucking asshole who never graduated with any real like schooling. The teachers just pushed him through because they were sick of his ass.
Who hasn't heard the word Inuit?
Right, especially
Who
if you had to do.
Who hasn't heard that categorized by now? Like,
didn't we all at some point do a study of North American tribes and Native Canadian, Native American? Even we did one. We studied, Mohawk. We studied, Micmac. We studied all. It was necessary at some point in elementary school, not even fucking high school, although that was optional later on. Yep.
We have throughways in Buffalo that are more complicated to say, like the Skajakwada, for Christ's sakes. Fuck you.
Yeah. I would love to hear. So, what about Schenectady? What that would be a feast for?
Good night.
I love this one.
We have Conshohocken and Schuylkill down here, but we're not quite as advanced.
Okay, so if you spell, guys, Delavigne, what does it say?
Carol Delavigne.
Delavigne. Look, two people got it. Okay, never mind that. This is a young actress that no one our age should know. Like Sam's a little bit younger, so she might know. I don't know. I only know her name from reading it in print a couple times, but I still could fucking pronounce it, not knowing who she is. Just listen to this fucking 79.
Boy, did I waste time. I watched Will Smith's kid. I don't know his name. Jaden with Cara Delevingne, who's a model.
What?
She's got it. Oh my! You want to see the?
So Robin continues. Hold on.
So well, that's right up my alley and Beth's alley. We love these romantic movies, and I like that. And then I read on Daily Mail that Cara Delevingne is dating Jaden Smith.
Who is Delevingne? You mean Delavigne?
She's still stupid too.
So now they're Italian and French.
Yeah, exactly. Now, So okay, it's in that case. This is what I wanted to stress. Sometimes guys, when he gets on the show and he starts talking about someone, he wants to denigrate them. Yeah, he mispronounces their names. I'm certain it's it's for sure it's reductive. He's doing it on purpose. In a case like this is just him being just being stupid.
Yeah, it's him and her. It's a double geriatric moment. It's not just one, it's both. And they're trying to outdo each other with how they know how to say the name, and neither gets it right, which is fantastic. Because the back office is typing them furiously, trying to get the name out to them in like phonetic letters, and they're not going to see it or do it right.
It's not like the first day of school when it's like teachers say, "Oh, who's in class?" and they pronounce the last name wrong, and then the student corrects them. These are celebrities that are known in their zeitgeist that they should know. They should know what the name is. And by the way, if you're going to mention this story on the show, which has been already pre-scripted, you were going to bring up this topic, somebody should have mentioned what the hell the name is. Devonu? Delavini? Who the fuck is that?
My last name isn't even that complex by Greek standards. It's pretty much like Smith, where we're concerned. But to the Anglos and to all of my teachers growing up, I had to like beat them to it before they even tried. So it'd be like, oh, it's so and so here, present, And then, but my buddy, his dad was a real off the boater. He named his kid Sophocles, and their last name was Papachristoudolopoulos. So you can just imagine the fun he had writing his name on the test paper, going around the side because there was no space. Not enough space for his name.
God bless.
Imagine the wedding invites when you have to send out for that.
It's a scroll.
I had the same issue, though. It was always the real Anglo-Saxon teachers who, didn't encounter any super Italian last names. They would always mispronounce my last name, and then you correct them. Fine. This isn't that situation.
Right. It was always Mrs. O'Sullivan who had problems with it. Let's see. Number. Okay. I won't forget the number. I'll just keep going.
And you need the kind of fame where, like David Lee Roth hit it right. He said Van Halen was so famous that he used to go to Africa, the deepest parts of Africa, just to get away, the Amazon jungle. He would.
Let me keep playing a little more.
Amazon is in South America.
All right, same. That's like Africa to me. So.
What?
Oh my God.
All places he will never go to, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. And Robin knows it because she was on her way to pass through Guatemala, so she was closer to it than him. Yes, Sam. Looking in fear.
To the deepest parts of Quebec, and
Africa. Yeah.
Yeah. The deepest parts of Quebec.
Yeah, exactly.
What is he talking about? And and it's all the same to him. It's all the same. No, it's a completely different place. What do you mean?
Well, it is in a way. He's right. Everything to him is there. I'm here. That's there. So it doesn't matter if he's talking about Asia, South America, fucking like Europe. It's all the same shit. He'll never go to any of it. Where's he gone? Mexico, and he's talking about guys' packages. That's about it. That's the extent. Go ahead, Raven, please.
He's not even going to South Miami, and he's in West Palm, which is an hour away. He's not going anywhere that's not outside his little circle of neighborhoods and Hollywood friends. If it's in the Hamptons, if it's in West Palm, or even in Manhattan, if he makes it back to the penthouse, who knows? He's not going anywhere.
Just out of curiosity, how long is a flight from, let's say, Miami to Cuba? An hour? Hour and a half?
Yeah, about that.
Okay. He could afford like a fucking villa in Cuba and just have a great fucking time.
Oh, first of all, he can't have a great time anywhere. So basically the Amazon is like the deli on the corner of the street to him. It doesn't matter. He's not going.
I wish I could have found the fucking clip where Robin, I think it was a wrap-up show where she said he used to drive around Manhattan. He used to drive in New York and he would cry because he would get lost.
Oh my God.
When the early days when he was driving himself around, and I don't know where that clip went to, but eventually I'll bring it out one of these days. Okay, next clip's real short.
So, excuse
and
me.
ask them about their side businesses.
Yeah. Do you guys have side business?
Why don't?
You were talking about Quebec. He's like a Quebecer. You know, 2-3 guy. We have 4 or 5 beer, and we try to have a 3-6 appetizer. Drop an S. And S is completely optional.
Un, deux, trois.
Yeah.
He does not get articles or plurals correct. It's ridiculous.
So just to show you that's not a fluke, guys, here's another one.
What, did you watch Super Bowl at all? Is that your thing? Do you watch?
Oh, God.
It's like a movie character.
Watch Super Bowl. Did you watch Super Bowl at all?
Okay, this next one.
Super Bowl?
I love.
What? You mean the biggest thing in America?
Do you really think Ace Frehley? Let's say you did get the phone.
Ace Frehley.
Yeah, I watched him with Pele.
Okay, this next one I'm going to play, guys. I know
we
some of you
we ran a relay. Mayday.
Me Day.
Payday.
Okay, next one: SIM cards and dead air. You'll all remember this rant, or you'll have heard about it, but you may not have heard the clip. So here we go.
Listen, I'm very well versed on the new technologies. You know what a SIM card is?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I see it in my phone.
Right. You're not only going to see it in your phone, you're going to see it in your car very soon. A SIM card.
Still waiting.
Let me get my Nintendo game out and go like this at the bottom when it doesn't work. And push it back in and hope it works again. Donkey Kong, can you please work now?
What he's saying right now is about the equivalent of saying, here's my Atari 2600 Yar's Revenge cartridge and plug it into your 8-track in your car. Okay, so the context was he was talking about basically Wi-Fi. He was talking about what was later, streaming, more commonly streaming stuff coming through your car. But he thought SIM card was what you used to get a signal. So I'll play a little more.
Thanks, Jeff Schick.
And once that happens, it's called Game Changer. Right now, there's something in your car that enables you to take your cell phone, whatever it is, pop it in, and you will have radio, any radio you want, any music you want.
This is not pre 2010. Would you guys remember that there were? Could you get receivers, like Bluetooth receivers, in your cars at 2010? I don't know.
We didn't have Bluetooth. I don't even think we had USB back in 2010.
USB? Of course.
We had adapters for iPods at that point. You could use an iPod or a CD player in your car.
Right, the 3.5 jack that you could plug in your iPhone or your iPod or something like that, plug it in and use the dash to play your music.
Wasn't that out of like a car lighter though?
Well, that to charge it, but then to play the, in the old days, Sam, we talked about this early on in the podcast, about, remember those cassettes you would, with the wires, and you would plug your CD player in? Yeah. Because most people had standard cassette decks in basic, cars. So
that's right.
When CDs came out, it was like, you may as well put a turntable in your car.
You had to.
Yeah, it was really ghetto.
The best was when you had your CD holder in your visor, your sun visor, and say it got a little worn over time because of the sun and everything else. And then all of a sudden you hit the brakes really hard, and all of a sudden all the CDs went flying. You're like, motherfucker!
All of a sudden you're littered with Backstreet Boys CDs. So let's keep going. We're going to go through some of these things here. This one I don't think I'm going to play because it's just him talking about Boston University. We played that a couple times, so I'll leave that one alone. But we're getting into stupid wiggy questions, and this is with Orlando Bloom.
because
was Johnny upset with you personally when you decided to skip one of the Pirates movies? Like
I didn't decide to skip it, but he wasn't. He was like, no,
you didn't decide that. I thought that you would like.
Clip. I decided to call it Brock Linehan. Come back, all is forgiven.
Totally clueless.
Yeah, and he does this so often. He just comes with questions. I'm a little at a loss for words with these things when it happens. Is it he's free forming a question and he decides I'm going to ask this because that's what's coming to my head, or did someone actually stupidly write down erroneous information and he's reading it? Raven?
Lazy staff fuckers wrote some of these. There's no way he could come up with these on his own. He's got a staff of Will, Jason, Hein. Who knows who else on the 80-person team that is coming up with this stuff. And it makes them look so bad. Honestly, as listeners and most people who are listening, you always have a few people who are well-versed in these things. And then to hear him butcher a question and get the no answer, I love it. That's what I live for when I'm listening anymore, is the no's. Is the complete idiocy, and that's why we're doing the show in tribute.
Exactly. And it's also, I think, too, it's a narrative that he wants. So he's looking for viral clips. He's fishing for that viral moment of sparring with Johnny Depp and Orlando Bloom. So he just completely made up something.
Right. So this, as if to illustrate the point, the next clip is called "Please Tell Me You Shit in Front of Men So I Can Beat Off."
Look on it.
I read you even like shit in front of these guys. Like there was just like there was no even private bathroom on this thing, right?
No, I didn't. Who said that?
Oh, okay.
No, there was I peed. There was a public. There was a bathroom that we'd use, but
What?
shit in the woods, bro. What's the problem?
All right.
He wanted a mental picture of him shitting naked, like shitting in front of other people. That's exactly what that was.
79.
Well, worse than 79. Demented fucking scat obsessed 79. Scat sex obsessed. Raven.
Creepy ass motherfucker looking for dirt or one-liners to use to put for Buckwald articles to post and be like, can you believe Orlando Bloom shat in front of coworkers? Like that's the headline he wants for real.
That's correct.
No, it's no joke. It's so scary.
This next clip is called "The Mystery of Superman is Revealed to 79."
How do you shoot that, by the way?
Would we call that multiple orgasms?
No, but I'm serious. How do you shoot something like that? When a guy's fucking a woman and he levitates, are they? In other words, they're simulating sex, and then how do they raise them up like that? Is that all? It's all wires. So the guy is wired, and wow.
So what did he think? They really floated?
Oh my God. And the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus are also real. What?
Right. It's okay. So a lot of these clips, guys, are real short, so bear with us. This one was when he interviewed Kristen Stewart, and this one is you just listen for yourself. It's called "Wow, It's You. I'm So Used to Seeing You."
Wow, that's you, huh? Wow, I'm so used to seeing you.
What does that mean?
Oh my God. Oh Jesus fucking Christ on the cross. Could you imagine if he saw, would you say that if he was like, say, invited to the White House or something? I'm so used to seeing you.
What
an idiot. He's such an idiot.
This particular interview, I don't recall. It wasn't it was well after Twilight, so she's not really hot anymore. And she was doing something else, like one of those, maybe that Cinderella or reboot. What was it called?
Adventureland.
Maybe. Yeah. And
I think it was she was doing.
Oh God, it'll come back to
Beauty and the Beast.
Something like that.
Or Snow White.
Whatever they called it though. They called it something else though. It was a Snow White story. That might be it. Yep. Anyway, this one's called "How to Short Circuit in Mid Non-Question."
Isn't it? But on the other hand, you're a young girl. And especially when Twilight came out, what were you, about 21, 2?
I was 18.
You were 18?
Yeah.
I just love the intro to that, where he goes, would you, it was exactly like the Emily Stern article when he's like, but it's okay, I'm sorry. So I'm going to play that one real quick again.
Isn't it, and then, but on the other hand,
just in case you didn't hear it, guys.
One more time.
You're a young girl. Isn't it, and then, but on the other hand.
And then, but on the other hand. What the fuck?
What is that supposed to mean?
Here's your greatest interviewer.
Yeah.
The sleight of hand. If your hand was a giant mitt at or a giant finger at a football game waving in the air.
Yeah.
I mean, so bad. How does nobody's... And then this is what happens. You get the press that covers him as a great interviewer.
Mm-hmm.
And you get celebrities who still tack on this, I love him no matter what, and it's still the best interviewer, best interview. Lies. All lies. Cover, one hand washes the other. This is how you know Hollywood's a cesspool of disgusting just cover for each other, because if you are saying that this guy is the best interviewer, you're full of shit, and what are you hiding for lying for this?
Yeah.
Why are you lying?
Or what are you smoking, Raven?
How can he even be called that when no one references him in other interviews saying, oh, Howard Stern was so good, he dug up this information on me. His information is not reused in other interviews.
No,
he is not quoted as saying, I loved my interview with him. Nobody is giving him any kind of praise for any of these interviews. No one's retweeting any of this shit. Not even the people in the fucking interviews.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just smoke up our ass, as always.
Like more recently, there was an Emily Blunt interview, and he asked a Marvel question because it was explained that maybe she and her husband are going to be the Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic because they're going to reboot up for the upteenth time fucking Fantastic Four. But she gave like a non-answer, and yet that was because the Marvel thing is so huge. There's people that, oh, she's there. Let's find out what comes out of this interview. So they took that non-information and decided to make an article about it on Yahoo News or something. And it wasn't as if that was some amazing piece of, that was a get. She said nothing. She didn't confirm anything. And they still released it. So it was like, at this point, they'll grab at anything, the internet, when it comes to someone doing an interview, but it doesn't have any staying power. It's not like this is going to last for years and years. It's not like a Playboy interview or some, the way 2020 used to do it, or Barbara Walters interview would have some kind of publicity. Yeah. Sam?
But I'm saying celebrities, they will still say, I still listen to Howard's interviews. They're still the greatest interviews. Like Sarah Silverman recently said that. And I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? It's a lie. So to me, if you're lying like this because you've heard the show in the past and you're a fan, you know that the interviews are absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
You know this. Why are you saying this? So to me, it's like one hand washes the other. What are you covering for? What do they have on you and what do you have on them that makes this sort of agreement where I'm going to keep saying this line of propaganda and you're going to keep your mouth shut about what? There's some sort of formal agreement between it's the same reason why he didn't say anything about Ilaria or whatever. There's some sort of weird agreement between celebrities where it's like, I'm just going to keep promoting whatever the hell you're proposing. You're going to propagandize the fact you're a great interviewer. I'm just going to keep saying you are, even though I know you're not.
Right. Raven?
This is the whole Hollywood game. It's everybody kisses everybody's ass in a whole circle jerk.
Right.
And then we wonder why he doesn't get called out for blackface, for racism with Ching Chong, or dehumanizing, excuse me, dehumanizing women in the past or present or future, who knows, or for any of the gay stuff or the scat stuff that we cover. And it's because he's protected. He's in the club in Hollywood, whether we like it or not. He's got enough money. And
well, it's money in
Hollywood
clout, supposedly.
We'll
keep chipping away.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut. I didn't mean to cut.
Let's do that.
I didn't mean to cut you off. But what I was going to say, Raven, was this: do you think it's something where First of all, there's the Pink Mafia, which a lot of people believe exists, and I know exists. We've done the reading. David Geffen is at the head of that for sure, and Ryan Seacrest is definitely in on that, but he's still up and coming, right? Relatively speaking, in the business.
There's there's the whole Twitter sphere that tries to take that down, and accounts go up, go down, go up, go down that try to reveal the whole Pink Mafia and who's involved and who does what, and it's friggin' amazing.
Roy Cohen, look at that document, the HBO film Angels in America. He was a legendary gay lawyer, like incredibly powerful lawyer who controlled. He was so fucking powerful, but he was in the closet. Like he would actually blackmail people and fucking destroy careers. And anyway, it's just documented, guys. Look it up. And so, do you think he's part of that, or does you think he's sort of in circles like that?
Okay, so I'm willing to go out. I was dancing around this, but since you guys brought it up, I'll go with it. The whole Geffen Seacrest thing that they call it the Velvet Mafia, the Pink Mafia, is a thing for sure, because they're promoting a gay now / transgender agenda. And Wiggy is part of that. So he is protected. He's covering these topics. He's talking about it, whether it's made up or real, whether it's jazz or a caller who's fake. He is pushing this so hard. And we saw it in the 2013 summit. This should not be a surprise to us that this is the way he's going to go with the show in the future. Having Wilding is a gold mine for him, because he's got all his gay dalliances going on. And now we've got Ralph calling in as a fake caller called Max, who's just using a voice changer. So yes, I believe Wiggy is in this Velvet / Pink Mafia. And it's kind of like another version of the Illuminati. It's an offshoot, maybe.
Yeah.
I know we don't talk about that very much because,
it's not a conspiracy-based show we're doing, so...
Yeah, we're not a conspiracy pod, but in the same sense, like, some of this stuff has to be real. There's so much talk about it. And I believe if there's, let's say, with the Illuminati, you got 33 degrees or levels you can be at. I think Howard is, like, in the teens. He's climbing his way up. He's doing everything he can. But it's funny because in the CDAN post about this was Geffen and Seacrest kicked Ellen out because she was being too bossy and trying to take over. So Wiggy went on Ellen's show, which is a really interesting dynamic if you look at it, because she was promising people to move up the ladder if they would suck up to her. And
that's how Beth got on for no reason.
Yes. And remember, he was on with Colton, who's now the outed gay bachelor. So there's this very big interconnected incestuous gay theme. Not that we have anything against gays, but like when we've paid for Howard for all these years and been promised things.
I want him to come out. Just come out.
It really is painful to listen to because we know it's so fake. It's not real.
It's transparent.
Sorry, guys. It's just, it's sad. It's pitiful, but it's not stopping. It's going to keep going. No matter what we say, no matter what we tweet, nothing's going to change. It's just going to get worse. I'm done.
Well, the thing, no worries. The thing is, this is what I was, he doesn't have clout in the way a super mega producer like Geffen does. He has money, which is important, but clout is different than money. Like a producer can get stuff greenlit. Him with his money, he can't get fucking, unless he's going to bankroll it himself. He can't get Beth a job. Not a good one anyway.
Not anymore.
And also, he certainly doesn't want her to be prominent. So it's all, let's give her this picayune, penny-ante shit that she's going to fail at. No one's going to pick up. She'll feel happening because she had a chance at a pilot of something like Mom Caves. But when it fucking tanks, she'll be like, well, that's the business. Sometimes, it works. Sometimes it doesn't. And it'll shut her the fuck up for a while. And in terms of Ellen, the connection. Sam Simon's another one, not a guy with real clout, but he had shitloads of money from being Was it he was part creator? He was responsible for helping create The Simpsons, I believe, and he got a credit that way, creator credit.
Yeah. Creator, contributor, writer for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. So
supervisor, executive producer.
Right. In perpetuity, he got bankroll from that fucking show, even though he had nothing to do with it after not very long. And that was like a lottery ticket. So he would have been part of that. Like if there's a tier of gay Velvet Mafia sort of members, Wiggy's in there, but he's not at the top. He's not nowhere near the top. He's just, well, like Sam Simon,
protected.
Rich, but not a kingmaker. He's not someone that can actually do a whole lot within the business. And anyway, that's a bit of a digression, guys, but I found that one I found that topic a little bit interesting. Next one is called Photography Equals Rape.
It is weird.
Yeah.
And it does seem weird especially when it happens to a girl who's 18 or 19.
It felt wrong. Yeah.
It feels like a rape in the sense that you're...
Don't say that.
Well, no, well, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like a complete invasion? I'm not comparing rape to being photographed.
No. You just did.
Yeah.
Which is what exactly I just did. Yeah. And he used to do that a lot. He used to use rape as the go-to analogy for just about anything that was, an invasion or some kind of a violation of some privacy or whatever. It's like, you've ever been raped, asshole?
No.
It's a big difference.
Not understanding colorful language and how to properly use it, I suppose. 79.
The next one is called In a Way, in a Sense, It's Weird.
Young. Your parents were in show business behind the camera, right?
Yeah.
Your dad was a set designer, I want to say?
Stage manager.
Stage manager. And what was your mom doing?
She was
right. So in a way, it's weird.
In a way.
Him and Gary are the worst abusers of that fucking word. Weird. They use weird for everything. When they want to say uncomfortable, when they want to use it for just incredibly stupid or unfair, they use weird. Why? Sam?
Actually, they use the word weird when they want to make a point without making the point perfectly to her face. So they want to try to say to her, your parents were involved in show business, and then go from there. And they want to try to paint this picture of, and nepotism. Then somehow you were forced into show business, or you were luckily granted these, acting jobs because of your parents were in the business. But instead of cutting to the chase, they use this word weird.
It's supposed to be, it's very nebulous the way they use it. It can mean anything, but it's usually negative, but getting away from it. You're right.
Yeah. So that's the way they use the word weird. It's weird. It's weird. No, it's not weird. It's purposeful how you're using it. You're purposefully painting a roundabout picture in order for her to try to kind of gauge what you're saying, kind of gauge the listeners to what you're saying, and then using the word weird to circumvent it.
Raven?
The word weird is easier to say than nepotism. So he's going to avoid S's, C's, and X's, which are his enemies in the alphabet, by the way.
And that's what's the way Bowie would use it, especially on the wrap-up show, is we're getting into a weird area. No, you wanted to say we're getting into a really uncomfortable, awkward area. We're getting into an area where it's going to be negative or something, and he uses weird to just be to generalize and go, this is not wanted. This is unusual. That's fine, but it's not unusual. It's actually just really awkward and uncomfortable. So say it. Say this is a really tragic way for things to go. Sam?
That's 100% right, because Bowie does that all the time, especially if you look back at old shows or wrap-up shows when people were getting tenser, people were having fights about certain things. He would say, it's getting weird. It's not getting weird. It's getting honest. Yeah. You don't like having the mirror put back and reflected back on your face, any of them. In the elite status of the show, when the mirror is put back on you, Robin, Fred, Howard, or Gary, then all of a sudden it's, oh, I'm going to reflect back the word weird.
That's
which
right.
Means,
Raven. And then I got a point. Yep.
Isn't it weird how Billy West just up and left for California? Isn't it weird how he didn't say anything or say goodbye?
Right.
Huh. Weird. Weirdo.
Yeah, well, the thing is, he would also use it in the case of like when something, it was uniformly negative. Now, weird is negative, true. Most of the times it's used as an adjective. It's meant in a negative way. But instead of just strange or unusual, but weird is, it's almost like when you use the word she's sweet, but you really mean she's fucking dumb and nice.
yes.
You know what I mean? So
well, actually, Chelsea Handler famously used that with Beth.
Yes, she
to
did.
Howard. She would always say, "Oh yeah, she's so sweet." Oh, and then to her face, she goes, "Oh, you're so sweet," meaning you're a dunce.
Yeah, dummy, nice, harmless. That's sweet.
It's very condescending, and
it is.
Another word for weird would be odd, but odd has a negative way about it too. So, it's just not. They just go with weird because the Whack Pack is weird, but the Whack Pack is funny to them too. So it can come off in many different ways.
Yes, and especially when they were dealing with finance, and somebody would call in about finance questions, and then Gary would say, "Well, it's a little weird in a way." No, it's a shitty way, and you don't want to say it's shitty, so you say weird instead, asshole. Just admit you're getting underpaid, or you're doing work you shouldn't be doing because you're not getting paid for it. Sam?
Yes, for when anytime a caller would call up and challenge Bowie on serious stock or serious listeners or serious profits, he would always say, well, it's a little bit different here. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. And meaning I don't want to combat you in hard numbers or facts.
Right.
So I'm going to use the word weird to just totally negate this conversation and skate right over this.
That's
so
right.
Weird in Howard Stern.
Escape.
Yes.
Yeah. The next one is, I'm not joking, guys. This is the question. What is a gay Christmas movie?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of gay people.
Yeah, and there have always been, yeah.
What is a gay Christmas movie? In other words, it's following a couple that's gay in the movie?
Oh, my God.
I'll tell you what's a gay Christmas movie. Look at that card you sent out to all your fucking, where you're dressed like a fucking, I don't even know what to say. Let's plug that in. You're wearing a wig down to your belly button. You look like a puppet, a sad drawl puppet. It's incredibly sad.
Broomhilda.
Yeah, and Beth is just sitting there like Santa thinking to myself, I'm not getting paid enough for this contract. When can I do a bump?
Okay, so the next clip, we're finished with Kristen Stewart for now, and then we're going to go into some of the Roger Moore questions. And this was a story that Roger was talking about Rhonda Fleming, who was a famous Hollywood actress and a ginger. She was stunningly fucking gorgeous. And I just put up a picture of her. Yeah.
Don't forget to plug in that Christmas card.
Oh, no, God, no, for sure. Let me see. Hold on, let me see. 28. Which the one where he's sitting on Beth's lap, or the lap with the black and white one where he's by himself and his legs are crossed? Legs are open.
Where he's both.
Okay.
Well, there's one where she's Santa and he's like dressed as a woman.
That's right. There's that one, but then he's dressed as the same. It's a black and white still from him in that same getup. Only he's hunched over a chair and his legs are open, and there's a star where his lady parts will be.
Oh God, yeah, both.
Yeah.
Work called Jeff Hunter. He was a very good-looking guy under contract to Fox. He was sort of to keep R.J. Wagner on his toes.
Right. They brought him in to keep Robert Wagner kind of like in his place.
In his place, yeah.
It's brilliant,
We have
isn't
another
it?
guy.
Yeah, we got another good-looking guy. We'll get rid of your ass.
Anyway,
yeah.
Jeff called me. I was staying at the Knickerbocker Hotel in
I have to cut this one up, guys, because it's a little longer. And sorry, because poor Sir Roger is not exactly a master storyteller. I mean, what he's saying is actually quite interesting. It's just the way he's saying it is quite, monotone. But bear with us.
Hollywood, and he called me. So I'm going to pick you up, and we're going out. We're going to Rhonda Fleming's house for a dinner.
Ooh. Oh.
I said, Rhonda Fleming. Oh.
The ice skater.
Oh.
He mixed her up with Peggy Fleming.
I got that. I got that.
Who was also cute, by the way. Don't mistake me, guys. don't get me wrong. But big difference.
No, she wasn't an ice skater. She was an actress.
Rhonda Fleming.
Rhonda Fleming.
Was she the hot actress?
Red hair.
Yeah,
beautiful.
she was a big star.
Beautiful girl.
Who am I thinking of?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think you're very
Peggy
strange.
Fleming.
Peggy Fleming. I'm thinking.
I think you're probably thinking of Rock Hudson.
Do you think he pegged? Do you think he pegged Wiggy as being a Finoke?
Even at age 84, when Roger Moore did this interview, he had to know what he was walking into, but he just kind of like kept his deadpan voice going about him, and that was it. That's all. He just blew him off completely.
So Sam, you're on board with this one, because I when I heard the comment originally, I go, that came out of nowhere.
He wouldn't have said that if Roger Moore doesn't seem like the type of person that would just let a comment like that fly if it wasn't for purposeful direction.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, fair enough. Rest in peace, Sir Roger. Thank you for that little bit of dope.
And by the way, that actress was beautiful. She was like a redhead Hedy Lamarr.
Right.
Gorgeous.
Or Maureen O'Hara, like total, just stunning.
Gorgeous.
I love gingers, and Margaret's my favorite.
Mine too.
The next one, what was the one? What was the one Paul Lynde line? Because she did. She was in Bye Bye Birdie, I believe, right?
Of course. So amazing.
So they did a production, right? And then he comes down from his dressing room and everybody's giving her all this praise. Like she's a brilliant young star and you're going to have a great career. And he comes down and he goes, well, I guess I'm the only person here who doesn't want to fuck Anne Margaret.
Right.
Love Paul. So this one's Sinatra was a bully. Oh, maybe not.
Frank was a peckerhead, right? I mean, he was a little weird.
He was not a little weird. He's one of the great men.
Was he? Because I get the sense that he was kind of a bully. Like he'd hang around with mob guys. And while he was a talented man, a singer and an actor, he would bully like the guys around him.
No, he wasn't a bully.
No? That's the impression I get, that he really wasn't such a great guy.
That's the impression. What impression would he get from not having ever spent any time with them?
He would have been kicked out of that circle in 5 seconds flat. He could have never hung. You could have never hung with that type of crowd. You would have never been able to. I would have given anything to sat at a table with those types of people, especially back then. Are you kidding me? Howard?
Ray Raven.
It's another example of him looking for like a vicious headline to post on somebody who can't defend themselves because they're dead, and trying to dig for dirt where there is none. Or maybe there is, but Roger Moore is not going to give up dirt in this instance.
No.
And he just, again, plays it total baseline, just flat. Nothing to see, nothing to hear. And he just shuts him down, which I love.
Well, first of all, Sinatra's friends were incredibly loyal to him, and Sinatra was certainly no saint. There's loads of admitted history out there where he went up against Carl Cohn and called him a kike and got his fucking face punched in when he went to the I think it was the Sands. That's before the Rat Pack went to Caesar's Palace, I think, and because he was drunk, belligerent, he was definitely like a strong arm type of guy when he wanted to be, but most of his friends were incredibly loyal to him, and even in death and stuff, and they were very respectful of him. And it was basically a thing where if you were in with him, you were in for life, and it wasn't a mafia thing. He was connected to the mafia, but he wasn't actually mafia. But they had a loyalty to him that was like the mafia in a way.
It's a friend thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's an Italian or Sicilian thing. I'm not saying it is, but it is definitely a thing where you're friends with people in that circle of people, and you really go to bat for them, or you're in that group and you will not say anything bad about them because they're good people and they're good friends to you. So regardless of what you hear on the outs of it, you're not going to comment on that because you don't feel that way. And It's not your place, and you won't do that. You're not cheap like that. You're not going to do that.
Okay, guys, we're going to now play a longer clip, and I'm going to have to cut it up accordingly. But this one was from 2003, so the evolved human was like in his early 50s when he decides that, he's going to double down on how homosexuality is curable. And it's an edit, it's not the full clip, but I want you guys to fucking hear this. This is an evolution. This is some guy explaining how he is not gay. And he was converted, absolutely. And especially for you guys to hear the slip up when he mentions OCD and gay. He confuses them, but that's him talking about him. You tell me if I'm wrong. And you guys, I want to hear your thoughts for sure.
I was going to ask you a question. You were talking about gays and whatnot. Is homosexuality a physiological thing, or is it like an emotional thing?
Emotional.
And it's like a learned thing, or they don't, like you said in your book, they don't want to grow up, right?
No. It's not a put down. Being gay, I got no problem with anybody being gay, but it is a psychological thing.
Yeah.
It's not you can even see a lot of chicks I know who are not gay. All of a sudden, they become gay because they want to fit in with all like strippers and stuff. I know a lot.
Jesus Christ Almighty! It only gets worse.
Okay.
The strippers, and they want to fit in, so they start doing gay stuff.
Yeah, but what about hardcore gays? Not these fashionable gays.
No, that's psychological too. It's a reaction to society. Yeah.
Because they don't want to grow up, like you said in your book, and they don't want to be responsible and raise a family.
No,
Haven't you ever seen a 2 or 3 year old who you know is going to be gay?
No.
Yes,
No?
I have.
I haven't.
I have seen gay children.
No.
Oh, please.
I haven't.
I've seen gay OCD people. I mean, not gay OCD people. 3-year-old OCD people. You go, how come?
You throw something in his fucking sandbox, and he will destroy that toy. Doesn't matter what you give him. You give him Fisher Price, it'll be in pieces, and he himself will be in pieces, and always show his true colors. Sam.
Oh my God, he's Sid in Toy Story, just blowing up fucking toys in his backyard. He's got no idea what the hell he's talking about.
None.
He has no idea what he's talking about. And at this time, think about the listenership he had. And by the way, everyone, Alec Baldwin in his new podcast with his wife, Ilaria, just came out with this revelation that Alec has OCD. No joke. That was their big reveal in the podcast, that Alec now has OCD. And we should feel pity on him. I almost shit and died. They had Howie Mandel on their 1-star rated podcast. I suggest everyone get on that podcast on Apple, rate it 1 star, and shit all over it. Anyway, the point is, this tying in OCD and gay and everything else is so wrong.
Mm-hmm. He's a terrestrial, and there's no disclaimer. It's just him spouting off his bullshit. And I'm sorry, to me, this is a gay man admitting that he's trying to convert himself to the public. I'm sorry, or bisexual, whatever you want to call it. But let's put it in the group, right? LGBTQ, et cetera, right?
What is this actually doing for people who have real OCD, by the way, or really trying to come out of the closet?
That's funny. If Alec Baldwin's doing that, I can just imagine him going to Robin saying, I invented OCD, Robin." he stole it from Miss America. I did that 25 years ago. So hold on for a second. Let's play a little more.
They be OCD at 3 years old because that's psychological too. I know it. I lived through it.
But in your case in particular,
all
you lived through
cases are.
Oh, stop it.
And gayness, maybe as early as 3, you could start acting that out. But it is.
And what is it a reaction to at that point?
It's a reaction to environment. It's a reaction to a lot of different things, but mostly the environment and parents.
I don't know why we're talking to you.
I'm just telling you, it's something that actually can be through psychological work. But why should you want?
Oh my fucking Lord! Knowing what we all know now, and there, guys, I know I'm going to we're going to open ourselves up to a bunch of people in the comment section. Well, how do you know it's not this and that? Like, fuck off! Just fuck off right now. And I'm not even entertaining that bullshit. Like, who would choose to be fucking marginalized? Okay, not in 2021 so much, but still very dangerous in certain countries where you cannot come out. Is think of the Middle Eastern countries, especially if you're gay and you gotta, you got to go along with the flow.
How could he even at that time put this on the same level as a psychological condition as OCD?
Right.
What absolute hysteria. There was so many psychological conditions that were just made up to sort of push along propaganda. To just say like, oh yeah, this hysterical housewife or this or that, but it was really postpartum, or it was really, this is along the lines of that. Like, what are you doing? Why are you saying this? Why would you denigrate psychological conditions of obsessive compulsive disorder and something that's completely natural as sexuality, which is you're just born into whoever you are.
Not to mention, where's the joke? He's not joking in this. This is not him trying to be funny. Raven.
Sexuality is within your organs. It's what turns you on. It's what gets you excited. So that's biological. That's not, I mean, some sexuality is psychological, but for the most part, like, your physicality is what determines your sexuality. You know what I mean? Where
do you choose to be?
You get aroused at certain things physically.
Right.
It's not because of
it's
your
involuntary.
head. It's we're animals.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, for example, Howard Stern doesn't really turn me on.
Well,
yeah.
Like, listen, you get an aversion. You're not allergic, but you have an aversion to mushrooms. Let's say you'd invented that aversion, or you just was natural. I mean, there's just no way to propagate that nonsense where, it's a choice. Like, no, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way.
The other point I want to make is the fact that he was saying this at the time period that he was saying it in, which was, tapering off the AIDS pandemic and everything else. And just the way our society was thinking of things, his talking points gave ammunition to people who were of the mind of this insanity. So it gave actual fodder, and it gave logs into the fire of this absolute nonsense. So that's the problem. And he spouted this nonsense and stoked that fire for so long. So
and never got any pushback.
79.
Raven?
I want to hear some more. I know this is a long clip, so let's see what else he has to say.
Okay.
You don't have to. I got no problem with people being gay, but he asked me, is it psychological or physiological?
I mean, sure, a gay person could make love to someone of the opposite sex, but is that
if you dissect
not making them heterosexual?
If you dissect a gay person and a straight person, they're both physiologically the same. Right. Their blood runs the same way. I do.
Their brains might.
Their psychological issue is homosexuality. That's all there is to it. Now, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I'm sure you don't. You don't. Yes, humans all have the same biological characteristics as do frogs, as do dolphins, as do, spiders. It doesn't fucking matter. The point is, humans have different sexualities. You idiot. You fucking 79. Yeah. That's been known from times of Roman. I mean, are you serious? Is he serious?
I used to have a joke in my stand-up ages ago when you could still say the word fag, and I said, "What did Romans used to call fags back in the day?" Senators, because it was it was acknowledged back then. Like you could have, it wasn't, sexuality was more ambiguous back then. You could have a guy or you could have a woman. It didn't matter. It was just a fucking hole. So in some ways, they were more enlightened in 2,000 years ago, around the time of the Caesars, with regard to sexuality, because everything was accepted.
Where do you think Sodom and Gomorrah came from?
Isn't that a club on Fifth? Let's go to the next bit because there's a little bit more.
Sure.
Stop it.
Stop it.
This is Stu, not Steve.
I know this
You
is...
knew you were heterosexual as
Yes,
a child.
I did.
Don't you think there are gay people who know they're
Yes,
gays?
I do. But it's psychological.
You didn't choose it.
No, it's nothing you choose consciously.
He's just saying, he's saying it's psychological. Go ahead, Raven. This is just such a fucking 79.
Well, I find it interesting that Robin's fighting so hard for this being something you're born with.
Mm-hmm.
And we know her history. Like, we've often talked about the possibility of her being gay.
Mm-hmm.
Martina Navratilova, Simona Dinnerstein,
Mm-hmm.
all these women she's had relationships socially with.
Yeah.
And maybe that's, I don't know. I'm just conjecturing why she's fighting so hard for the opposite side here.
I'm glad she is. I mean, because Lord knows she didn't fight hard for the side that she's the color of. So good for this.
Sally, we still get shit for that fucking episode. I'm like, why are you so mean to Robin? Look at it. You listen to her and you tell us why. If you listen for 5 minutes, you'll find every reason why we hate her too.
It's nothing you choose consciously. Just like you don't choose consciously to have obsessive compulsive disorder. It's a psychological disorder.
Oh, please.
And you know what? Let's not even call it a disorder. I don't want people bashing gay people. I'm just telling you, it's a psychological phenomenon.
They don't want to grow up.
Do you think it's a curable thing?
Yeah,
it's curable.
Absolutely.
Please.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How?
Oh my fucking Lord.
my
He just gets
God.
deeper and deeper. So remember, guys, this clip is from 2003. And it's because Stuttering John's still there, obviously, and Artie's there, but it's not so old that Jackie's there, you know what I mean? And I believe it is 2002, my bad. 2002, 1104, okay. Yeah, so how many years ago now? 19 years ago? 18 years ago?
But 2002. So think about 2002. He should have been way past this sort of thinking.
Right. And when the buddy on the phone decided to tell him, oh, look, it was in your book, he kind of sideswiped it. He sidestepped it. He didn't exactly go, that was all bullshit, whatever. He just decided he's going to double down on it. So 95 to 2002, 7 years later, still has the same thoughts, almost 8 years later.
And he also comes out with a book where he's dressed in drag.
Yeah.
And makes all of his employees dress in drag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing wrong, so how you being cured?
Right, gotta know how to do it.
To call it curable.
I'm the only guy known to man that's cured himself of OCD. I had a terrible problem.
Either.
I didn't use any chemicals, and I'm completely free of it.
But you think you could bring gay Ramon in here and,
Yes.
and you work him for a year or whatever it is
Yes.
you would do?
Yes.
You are not completely free of every phobia you have. You haven't cured yourself of anything.
No.
And by the way,
You just
You're wrong.
changed your symptoms.
Gotta love
So-
gotta love Robin in this one.
He actually, the fact that he tied this in together
Yeah.
led him to step in shit. Because you now, with your weird, stupid theory, your 79 theory of OCD being tied into with homosexuality, you now just said, I cured myself of OCD. So you're tying yourself in with homosexuality as something that's psychological.
Yep.
Why? We don't know. You just pronounced this for no reason.
Mhm.
And now you're saying you cured yourself of this.
Right.
You are saying you cured yourself of being gay. That's
Yes,
what
that's-
you're saying.
That's why
what
I
you're
love this.
saying.
That's why I thought this clip was so important, because it clearly, to me, it's just illustrates someone smoking gun. It's smoking flaming gun, maybe. Yeah, Raven.
This is the smoking gun.
Yeah.
Notice he is the only He's saying he is the only one who has cured himself of OCD.
Magic thinking.
Me, I.
Yeah.
I am the only one. I'm the unicorn. I am so special.
Mm-hmm. So,
Wrong.
How much of his psychotherapy do you think has been devoted to him trying to do like conversion therapy?
A ton.
I'm going to say it's indirectly in a way that he brings up, like, I know a guy who blah, blah, blah. And we all know who it really is.
Right.
He'll bring it up.
Think
Go ahead, Sam.
I think it's a lot because I think when he started to do these like little boys trips, like where he went out on vacations or he had grilling seminars with the guys over the house or these poker nights, I think these were all expeditions where his therapist was like, you need to go and be around this sort of behavior. You need to experience this sort of thing. I think part of his conversion therapy or whatever his therapy involved or entailed had something to do with him at some point being socially involved with men's men.
Going to scores.
Yes.
Gambling, poker nights.
Yeah.
And
grilling.
So
That's
he
the
really,
cure.
he really
Grilling
tried.
eggplants.
Yeah, he really tried to do this. I'm not joking. Training, whatever. And he really tried, but he failed because it doesn't interest him. It doesn't interest him.
Imagine going to the deli. Instead of getting T-bones, you get zucchini. You ask the guy for zucchini and eggplant. Okay, I gotta throw these on the bobby. Yeah, go ahead, Raven.
I think he was willing to try any suggestion whatsoever that the therapist gave him. And that led him to all these hobbies, even as far as running or chess or grilling or poker or whatever, even strip clubs back in the day. It was almost like
it's all suppression.
Okay, he just needed to immerse himself in something rather than just sitting at home watching ridiculously awful TV shows. So that's that's what he did. That was his work.
But yet I can't understand why guys like Jackie and all these people, Casey, everybody in the tornado, when they've got audio clips of him saying, I watched trans porn with Casey and Ralph, but that's not gay. That's not whatever. I mean, for fuck's sake, everybody, it was right. I know they're all afraid to because of, litigation. They're worried about it. But it's staring you in the face. I don't know how you could just, go, well, he's a father. He's like, yeah, so was fucking Vincent Minnelli. So was fucking Tony Perkins. He was a father. And he smoked the baloney pony. Sam?
I agree with you. I think that they're all so immersed into this narrative of their own, which
that's right.
I think psychologically damaged them because, like we said, he didn't pick people for no reason. He picked people he knew he could manipulate. I guess.
But Jesus, I mean, it's too many. When it's staring you at the face every day and every little bit, one time Artie said, you are the straightest man I know. Well, they did, but I mean, it was always undercouched into like comedy, right? Artie would go, "You are the straightest man I know, but with the gayest habits." Maybe he's this gayest man you know, and with the gayest habits, Artie. Or you're not willing to admit it because you grew up with this big Coxman TV, radio host, and he's scores and all this bullshit, and so he has to fit that mold for you. Otherwise, it's a psychologically damaging thing to you.
Will was willing to call it out when he said, "Look at what you did when you were back from Vegas."
Yes, we're going to have to go through that clip one time when we have like a lot more time for a specific themed episode. Raven?
This is a 6-minute clip, 8 minutes into it.
Yeah.
Do we need to keep going or should we skip ahead?
I think we can go ahead with the next clip because otherwise we're going to go forever on it. So let's go with the next one, which was with Roger Waters, reaching Beirut via Route 79. Howard.
Speaking as citizen of the world, is it true when you were like 18 years old, you hitchhiked from Beirut back to London or something?
I did.
That's wild. How did you end up in Beirut?
It's a long story. Make it very short. I bought a 1948 Morris Commercial Royal Naval Ambulance with 5 friends.
Okay, hold on, guys. I had to cut it up. I just couldn't stop laughing when I heard this.
You bought the company?
No, the ambulance.
No, we bought the ambulance.
I don't understand. I would buy an ambulance.
That's what I'm getting to.
Okay, go ahead.
To go to Beirut, obviously.
What an idiot.
Oh my! Yeah, and this one
Who's
is from
buying companies at
at 18 or 19. Next one is called Wigus
Did you buy an ice cream? Did you buy Friendlies?
Did you buy Good Parlor? Good humor. Sorry. Wigus Interruptus.
No, I just went to get an ice cream cone.
Just answer the question. Don't make fun of me. Did you graduate college?
I went to the Regent Street School, Polytechnic School of Architecture in London for 5 years.
And you didn't graduate?
Well, hang on. Let me.
Go ahead. All right, go ahead. Hey, I'm not David Gilmour. You don't have to yell at me.
So listen, when I heard that clip, the first thing I thought was, I know Howard. I know him enough these years. That was him just getting fucking bored shitless with the way Roger Waters was, his intonation, the way he kind of let everything drag. Because let's be honest, Roger Waters in an interview does not sound like Richard Simmons. So Wiggy needs, if he sounded like Paul Lynde, it would be fine. But he was bored, so he had to push him along. Go ahead. So
I recently love Roger Waters even more for telling Mark Zuckerberg to fuck you.
Yeah.
So good on him. But Roger Waters, did I recently graduate? Wiggy puts this elitist spin on everything where it's like, no, I didn't graduate, Howard. There are plenty of smart people who didn't graduate from college that are plenty smart. Yes, it's a feat if you graduate from college. Yes, you should be definitely, acknowledged for graduating from whatever field you graduated in. But if you didn't, you know what you're doing. You know how you're framing this. You're being an elitist shit. You barely got into college. If it weren't for Ben and Ray's money, you wouldn't have been into anywhere. Fucking 79.
Yep. And I was going to play that one we've already done, but again, it's just the one where he talks about how he got into Boston College on a fluke, and he just maybe we should, I don't know.
Nobody here had to buy their way into community college testing university.
Grade 14 and 15, yeah. Next one it's a one clip. It's Dan Aykroyd, and it's called "Wrong as the Day is Long."
Why are you not mad at Lorne Michaels for this reason? And I'll tell you why. When Animal House was being put together, a part was offered to you. Lorne Michaels said, Dan, you're under contract to us. You will not be in Animal House.
Oh, no, that never happened. No,
it didn't?
No, he never threatened me at all. Never preventing anybody from leaving. It was my decision to stay. I remember that very clearly. Landis was begging me, pleading me. You got to do this. You're going to be D.
Okay, so yeah, it was the Animal House D-Day. I think it was, I can't remember his name, Bruce McCall, I believe, that part. And he was perfect in that. Raven?
Don't you love how Wiggy's like, I'm going to ask you this, and then I'm going to tell you why it is.
Why are you even here?
Come on, don't even give the guy a fucking chance. Fuck you,
I'm going to preface this question with the narrative I already invented, and then you respond.
Yes, tell me if I'm correct. Actually, don't even bother.
Once upon a time.
Yeah. The next one is Sarah Jessica Parker, and this was from 2013, I believe, guys. So we're playing with time completely. These span the years, but this was post Marcy, I'm pretty sure. You know what? I tried desperately to get a Photoshop out of Smashing Pumpkins 1979, but I couldn't do it because it just doesn't lend itself to it. So this one's called I Had a Production Company, but what's a producer?
What does that mean to be the producer, though? Do you have to?
What?
I love how he plays dumb with celebrities as if to like gain their favor. Like if you know I'm dumber than you, then you'll acquiesce and you'll actually answer questions. It's like I'm going to make you seem like I'm a harmless, stupid, dumb fawn, and you're going to answer whatever questions I come up with.
What do you mean by 2 + 2 = 4? I'm not sure. Can you tell me? What?
Again, we're getting into Chris Farley show territory, but either way, Wig Farley rather. The next one is called "Do Fundraisers Ask You for Money?"
Yes.
So, yeah. When you go to a fundraiser, do they expect you to make a big donation?
I think there's oftentimes that they ask, do you not go to any fundraisers?
No, because I don't want to disappoint them with if I make too shabby a donation.
So,
but we're having I don't believe we're
right,
involved with it. Yeah, I do go.
amount.
I go to fundraisers.
Right. So
I love this interview because she got him with the children question, and he was so fucking fumpering.
He only goes to fundraisers that benefit him.
Yeah.
That's it. Bottom line.
Tax shelters.
He doesn't want to go to fundraisers that he might not tip correctly. Basically,
Right.
that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to be. He's shown up. What? You fund a
charity.
tax shelter cat house. Do you know how many human needs are in need right now?
It's a North Shore animal. It's like an oversized scratching post.
Oh
Go
my
ahead,
God.
Richard.
If it's not a tax deduction or front row seats to the Knicks, he's not doing it. Bottom
That's
line.
right.
They're burning piles of body in India from coronavirus. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing for the world? Here's another eyeless cat. Give me 50 grand.
Sam, that is not germane to this discussion, please.
Sam, those eyeballs are very important to certain people. I'll have you know.
That's his fountain of youth. He mixes
But I'm
them
not
in
going to
with
say any
almonds.
more than that.
Exactly. I think it's some satanic ritual where he, his hair stays long, like curly and firm and in place. Which by the way,
what he's gonna remake The Craft?
that great film.
Well, he hates children, so he's drinking the blood of babies to keep himself young right now.
Yeah, exactly. The next clip is called
Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
This is Kate Hudson. I was thinking about that's the question.
I'm glad to be here.
I was thinking about you, and I was thinking about this, like your life.
Can you imagine that, like Dick Cavett?
Oh my God, I'm gonna choke.
Okay, so the next one is from.
It's almost worse than Johnny Carson when he was looking at Ed McMahon. He's like, "You think you're fooling somebody? Like, what? What are you doing? Do you think you're fooling somebody by being an interviewer right now? What are these questions?"
But you every time you mention Carson, I think of some fast fucking move when he goes, like, Anne Margaret was on the show and she was braless and she was dancing around, and believe me, guys, the fun bags were just like
it was fun.
It was like a bouncy house, and if you were like,
I remember.
She was
God
like,
bless her.
women in the audience were like, I'd fuck her.
Yeah.
So she was that fucking hot, and that, like, whatever. And I think she was lip syncing actually, but I could be wrong. But either way, she gets on the couch and he goes, "I wish my grandmother was alive. That would have killed her." So this is with Scarlett Johansson. It's called "Abbreviations Are Wiggy's Kryptonite."
What do you make of this whole Scar Joe thing? I don't like it when they call you Scar Joe.
What
But you
upsets
can't
you about
stop
it?
it.
What
Yeah.
upsets
Sam's laughing. He's offended. What do they call you, Jim Phi?
Betho.
J-Lo.
Exactly.
What do you make of it when they call? What do you make of it when they call this downtrodden, bleached up horse Betho?
Well, wouldn't it be better to be Ho Stern?
The abbreviation started when, like, Jennifer Aniston was married to Angelina Jolie. I mean, when Brad
Jennifer was married to
no.
What?
He was just, this is freestyle Wiggy without notes is like, man, this is a picture of It's like a surrealist nightmare of a talk show.
No, I didn't want to say
Breaking
anything.
news.
No, when Brad Pitt, it would be like Brangelina. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, why do you use Scar Joe?
But that's a mixture. I thought it started with Jennifer Lopez being J-Lo.
Oh yeah, maybe that's it. But why can't they just say, "Oh, there's
Yeah, and
Scarlett
she
Johansson."
hates
I need an
you.
abbreviation for your name.
I think so. She'll never be on the show.
What an idiot. J-Lo hates him, so why even bring that up? J-Lo hates him.
But also, why not understand that that's exactly where that started coming from? I think it was pretty much with Jennifer Lopez where that became a thing.
Yes,
You're
became
welcome.
the thing.
Yeah. That last one is called Scarlett, a hot 10-year-old.
Cool.
When you go to public school, they go, "Hey, there's the kid who is in North and just was on Off-Broadway. You must have been like and you're hot." It must be like
a hot 10-year-old.
You're the other 10-year-old probably thought you were attractive.
I don't know about that.
So you're not a hot 10-year-old. If you're in the movies, you're a hot 10-year-old.
Yeah, you can
Listen,
go
when I
back
was a
and look.
10-year-old little boy, there were 10-year-old girls. I was really turned on.
I'm getting
She was really
It was
cute.
appropriate.
Oh my God.
I know.
Shut the fuck up, Wiggy.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God, I'm
Jeffrey,
having like
Howard's,
flashes.
Howard's on deck next to Jeffrey Epstein's massage.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I'm not sure if I can
Christ
find
almighty.
What-
What an
You know
idiot.
You
Go
know
ahead.
what's so great about all these clips you've gathered, and a lot of them are recent in the beginning, but like some of them go way back,
Mhm.
even as far as 2002. So 79 is not new. It's just been there all along. We've just finally picked up on it
Right.
in the past like 4 or 5 years, and we've brought it to you guys. So you're welcome.
Yeah. For years we thought he's just playing dumb. No, he's really retarded.
But so many people have commented on old posts of videos that they found, and the I prank, no one else pranks.
Mhm.
Different things like that just show how low IQ he is when
Yep.
it comes to stuff, and how insecure, and the MPD. Thank you, Chicago Bob. It's just phenomenal. Like everything we have attested to has shown itself over and over and over.
I wanted to play this one clip because you're just talking about massages, and Dice Dice is on Rogan, and he said, imagine if you could do your Travolta imitation based on the controversy with Travolta was going through with that masseuse or masseur and the lawsuit at the time.
Do you know what kind of nuclear arsenal of a joke you have in your wheelhouse if you just did it with you do an impression of Travolta and have some massage bit? Do you know with that impression how good that bit would be? I know you don't want to do it, and out of courtesy to Travolta, I know you think he's very talented. You don't do jokes about him, but my God, what a fucking crushing bit you would have.
Yeah, but I can't. You know what?
Your impression is really good, and then with the situation is so ridiculous. Him just wanting to get jerked off by all these guys. Him saying, "Let me massage you." It's the whole thing is great. I mean, it's ripe for comedy. I'm not hating the guy. I love him. Would you like me to dig my thumbs into your neck a little? But I don't. Come on, you telling me that you pretending to massage a guy,
And then Stallone says to him, then Sly says,
"You know what? That feels pretty good."
So we're going to play a little audio here, guys. It's a bit dodgy, but it's the best we can do right now. I'll see what I can do in post-production. About Crystal Ball and Sagar, who went on Rogan and started talking just all sorts of things. But then Rogan at one point brings up the Summit video that we went through in 3 parts. That's Who Mourns for a Dumbass, if you're a new fan. And it's only an hour Summit, but we managed to make it 8 hours of breakdown because it was just excruciating and funny in how bad it was and how awful it was. But Sam, you'd like to say?
And I love this because Crystal and Sagar are what I think is what political shows should be like. Crystal Ball is a progressive Democrat and Sagar is a conservative, and they have an amazing show called Rising on the Hill, and now they are no longer on that show. They are on a new show called Breaking Points, and it's really great. But they went on Rogan. They've been on Rogan previously, and they were both, well, Sagar especially was a Stern fan, and he had never heard of this summit video, so this was new to him, and he was so excited to hear what this summit video was, because he couldn't believe that somebody got into Stern's ear and was bringing these points to him. And it's also interesting too, because Rogan definitely intently listened to this summit and what Stern was saying, which is,
and he's mentioned it in other interviews as well, like here and there, like it's just an aside. And it's clearly he clearly thinks it's not just a sellout move, but just incredibly pathetic and sad for someone who was so huge to have to resort to this thing and the Twitter things, the fake Twitter accounts and all that. So if you go through the breakdown, or if you just listen to the summit video yourselves, guys, which is available on YouTube pretty easily, you'll hear what we're talking about. But more recently, Raven, when we go through the breakdown, we are going to discuss a clip where he completely rescinds on the summit, saying we don't go after people, we don't do this. It's such bullshit. So I wish we could play it now, but we'll save it for the breakdown.
Do you remember when Howard Stern got busted doing that?
Did he? No, I don't know.
There was a conference. He had a conference for all of his employees, and there's a video that got leaked. It's telling all the employees to make fake accounts and then tweet at celebrities that you want to be on Howard Stern.
You don't have your employees do that.
That's why I'm covering up right now. Throwing him under the bus.
I thought that was
the same thing.
common protocol.
No, I've never even advertised this show.
So I guess I don't know the context because I didn't read the whole thing. Raven?
Well, Seeger claims to be some kind of fan, but he knows nothing of this. But this was one of the hugest things in our universe as a Stern fan.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even if you're just Googling his videos on YouTube, it's going to pop up. You're going to see it. It's in the algorithm.
That's right. And a number of people uploaded it just in case it was going to disappear, which amazingly enough, it didn't. He didn't ID tag it, and it was just spewed everywhere and didn't cause us any problems, which was amazing. I was expecting for sure he would crack down on us, the old place, but he never did. And I guess he figured it's out there, can't do anything about it now. And people got copies of it left and right. It's not like no one's saving this.
It'll never go away. Yeah.
No, it won't.
Well, I just love the reaction from Sagar and Crystal of being like, no way.
Yeah.
Like, no way someone like him would do that.
Really. And yeah, and that the takeaway, the funny part was in that one, if you wanted, like, we really could have just directed you to that 3-part summit coverage we did to show you exactly how 79 he really is, because he undercuts every single argument within a minute, within the beginning of talking about something. He just completely contradicts himself, and he proves himself to be as stupid as we all think he is. So I think that's the last of it, guys. I don't know that we want to go into the Howard is retarded clip because we played it before and not even that long ago. So if you guys have anything else to add.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Hope you enjoyed this little revisionist history of the 79
anniversary 79 episode.
Happy 79.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks guys so much. We love you. And please, if you feel generous to donate on Podbean, on Patreon or on PayPal, the link's at the beginning of the video and it's in the description as well. And thank you to all of those who have done so the last little while. We love you.
Bye guys.
Bye.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine. They're doing great.
If you weren't a boxer, what would you be doing?
To lie to somebody.
Do you think there should be random drug testing for athletes?
Yeah, but most athletes are more clean anyway. They just go to a head thing. I mean, they go into they just make everything clean. So yeah, they should.
Can't believe he went into boxing.